Hi everyone, my name is Ment Morris. I'm a guitarist and educator out of Austin, Texas. What you just heard was Leon Rhodes' guitar solo off the song Sugarfoort Rag, which is off of a Buddy Emmons album. This is just a little quick lesson going through some of his lines he plays in here. It's a kind of an example of how I teach private lessons, as well as if you have any transcriptions you want me to figure out for you or teach for you. This is kind of how I do these things. So in Sugarfoort Rag, we're in the key of A, and this is a really cool solo because it's a nice kind of study on how he combines different positions of the guitar neck. He plays a lot out of shapes, which is a really cool thing to do. So our first little progression, it's A, D, A, E, A, and that repeats twice through for the first two parts of the solo. So to kick it off, we're playing this line that goes, so to break that down, those are the first two bars of it. What we've got going here is we're using our open E, and we're just walking up to the flat 7, that's our G, pulling off the B to the A. You could almost kind of think of it as you're outlining in an E minor chord here over the A, because a cool little sub to do if you're going to the 4 chord is throw in a minor 2 in the key of the 4 chord, so that if that's a D, that would be an E minor, and you could go E minor, A7, D. And I think that's kind of what he's doing here. We've got, and then we're going to do a chromatic approach here in a second to the C sharp. So it's open A, 3rd fret C, chromatic, and then pull off to the D. Pull off the D, we're coming right back down to the C sharp, and then we're walking up the scale, E, F sharp, G, A. Those who use chord shapes to play out of or are familiar with the cage system or any of that, this is that big G shape right here. If we take our G, open G chord and just move it up 2 frets. So really slowly, this line, once again, we're kind of thinking E minor, A to a D. Really, he's not outlining too much D here. He's just kind of playing that E minor idea at the start and then playing notes from the A major shape / scale and like using some flat 7s in there. So we've got now we're going to come back down. So just coming back down the scale, G, F sharp, E, D, chromatic approach to the C sharp, then back up. And this is a very Leon Rhodes-esque lick. I've done a couple of his transcriptions and I've figured out some licks, and he likes to play out of this arpeggio a lot. It's starting on, I think in A, we're starting on the 3, the C sharp, going up to the 5th, that's the E, the 7th, that's the G, the 9th, that's the B, then back down to the A. Stuff like that. So we've got, now the last part of the first line of the solo, we've got, so we're going B, D, that's 4, 3, quick 16th note, 4, 5, 2, that's just B, C, C sharp, chromatic walk up, and ending on that A. So that's, again, we're just playing out of this A shape here, this upper A chord, and if you want to analyze it, little E7 stuff right there where we've got the B and the D. The B is the 5 of the E, the D is the flat 7. I don't know if he's thinking all of that, and just in retrospect you can kind of think of it like that if you want to. But just think big A shape. The chords are playing so fast, it's a lot of A. So the second part of that first line, we've got Now the whole line, a little faster. 2, 3, 4. All right, and that's the first part of it. And once again, over the A, D, A, E, A. Here comes the second part. All right, so the second part, or the next line in the solo, is going to sound like this slowly. 2, 3, 4. Okay, so to break that down, we're now moving into this E chord shape, the 5th fret, still an A. We're playing the A once, really big fat A sound, and then we're walking up the arpeggio. We're playing C sharp, E, G, then adding the 9th, the B. Then coming up to the D, then a chromatic walk up to the C sharp. This is something he would often do a lot too, as well as guys like Roy Nichols from Merle Haggard's band. They play this line where we've got, which is nice. We're kind of implying that E minor chord again. If you look at it, we've got an an E, a G, a B, and a D. That's the 1, 3, 5, and flat 7 of E minor. So we're kind of using that as a sub a little bit. So it's. Now we're over the D, and he does this where he kind of highlights the C of the D, and we play. So that's. And that's just walking down the scale. You could either think of it in A or in D, just going A, G, F sharp, E. So all together, those first two lines over the A and D, we've got. Now the second part, we've got. So we're just playing G, F sharp, E, D, C sharp, A, just walking down the scale. That's what I really like about Leon's playing. It's very scalular, but it fits really nicely in your fingers out of these chord shapes. Then we're going to play over the E, just an enclosure. So an enclosure is just taking a note we're trying to target and playing all around it and then resolving to it. So B, A, G sharp, B, A. So we've got. Slide up into the third part. So all together, let's pull up my computer here to make sure I'm correct on this. We've got and that'll take us into the next part. So the third part of this solo, we changed the chords just a little bit. We're going to play 2 bars of A, a third bar of A, and then the E, A. So it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now I'm going to do the pickups from the previous part because that's kind of leads in here to the third. So it's going to sound like this. 1, 2, 3. So we're leading in, again, we're going to switch some lines around. We're leading up into this C chord shape at our 12th fret, still A, oh no, tune. And we're playing from the pentatonic idea, so it's 5, 7, slide up to 9. And then just follow the pentatonics, 7, 9. Adding in our flat 3, coming back down. So it's, and then we're sliding up. So now we're at the major third, the C sharp. And we're just playing C sharp, E, flat 7, G, and coming down the scale. Then grabbing the D, G, E. So it's all kind of playing out of the pentatonic idea, as well as incorporating some of your flatted notes and blues notes, like the flat 7 and the flat 3. So again, that line coming into the third section is 3. Now our next part is just coming down from the G here. G, F sharp, E, C sharp, triplet, just a hammer on pull off kind of thing. Then we're going to approach the C sharp note and close it. D, C, C sharp. Coming up to the E. Sorry. And then little blues lick. C, B, A. And that would lead the pickups into the next part. So really nice, just playing straight again out of a shape and really using some blues notes as well as some flatted sevenths to just kind of give it a little different sound than just straight A major or A pentatonic. So this whole third section, a little slow. Pickups, we've got 2, 3. Now into our final section. It's the same chord progression as the one before us. We're going to be working mainly out of this A chord shape here at the 12th fret and going a little into the top part of our G chord shape here at the 15th fret, or I'm sorry, 17th fret. So just getting into it, pickups from the previous part, we got this. 2, 3. Alright, so what's going on here is we're picking up on the C sharp and we're playing C sharp, D, E. In numbers that's 3, 4, 5. Then we're playing 11, 13, 14, just the major scale here. Then continuing up the major scale, 12, 14, 15, then up into the 14th fret. So that's B, C sharp, D, F sharp, E. So we've got and landing up here at the 17th fret, and that's our high A. So again, we've got and then we're going to play E, G, F sharp, E, then D, and a quick 16th note slide. So that's C sharp to C. So it's got, so again, up to that point is, and now we're just going to come down the scale pretty much. We have one flatted note here. We've got A, G, E, D, slide to C sharp, B, and then A, G sharp, F sharp, E, A, just encompassing or enclosing everything. It's, I just flatten my finger and grab that A. So coming down with that 16th note, we've got 2, 3, 4, or with the slide, 2, 3, 4. All right, right, so this whole last section we've got 2, 3. And that's the whole solo for you. So this is a really neat tune. Again, you're using this open position, you're morphing into this G position, you're morphing into the E, you're using the pentatonics to come up to this C position, and then you're using the C position to morph into the A position, and using a little bit of the high G. So it's pretty cool how you can kind of traverse the entire neck combining the positions. And if you study his playing quite frequently, he uses the pentatonic lines to kind of do that. So in your own playing, take some of these ideas and try and figure out how to effortlessly flow between the shapes without having to like restart in an area. And that's the main thing I would take from this. There are some definitely cool licks in here, but I've always enjoyed studying Leon's playing because it gives me fresh ideas to figure out how to transfer between shapes and kind of get me out of my old ruts. So once again, if you like this, if you have any solos you're trying to work out, or any things you're trying to learn and you need help with, please reach out to me. You can visit my website and there's a contacts page, or you can send me an email and I'll have all of that information in the description for you. Thanks again and happy picking.